Ways to maximize your potential. Whatever your discipline, become a student of excellence in all things. Take every opportunity to observe people who manifest the qualities of mastery. These models of excellence will inspire you and guide you toward the fulfillment of your highest potential. Tony Buzan. We are all endowed with a special thing, i.e. our potential. Some of us realize this potential quite early in life, whereas, for some, it takes a lifetime to realize this. These latter people who take time to realize their potential often accept the fact that they have lost the time needed to bring their real potential to surface. That is why, it is really important to realize your potential within a given time period, else it's often too late to begin. Moreover, one can also realize their hidden talent while discovering their real potential. This is done with experience, with the help of family, friends and even enemies. However, quite unfortunately, people at times also tend to demotivate a person to such an extent that their search for their hidden potential becomes lost in their misery. That is why, we recommend some general guidelines which can be adopted in order to buff and polish your hidden potential. 1. Read books. If you want to discover your hidden talent or potential, you can explore and search your interests and stay abreast of the latest happenings in your field of interest. This would not only keep you updated, but also make you flourish, especially if your career is in your interest fields. 2. Expand your exposure. You need to expose yourself to different happenings that take place these days. In many cases, you will realize that your hidden potential lies in the knowledge that you were exposed to since childhood. So you must self-improvement and motivation for success. Travel to places, research about topics of interests and make social networks with associates that might help you discover your hidden potential. 3. Find a good mentor. A successful mentor who understands you would certainly make you realize your hidden potential. They will help you regarding matters such as dealing with family matters, business dealings and other aspects. A mentor would certainly bring about that hidden talent that you have not realized yet. 4. Take challenging work. Taking up challenges would help you optimize your potential and find it. Being out of your comfort zone would not only make you realize what you are made of, but you would also be surprised to discover those aspects about your personality that are actually unknown to you. 5. Participate in competitions. Participating in competitions would help you tap into your own talent pool and discover the undiscovered. This would need you to maximize your time and energy and enhance your skills. 6. Try new things. You should treat every day as a new day, a new beginning. Look ahead at new avenues and don't hesitate to try new things or taking risks. Every one of us has unique potentials hidden inside them. All we need to do is to wake up and start looking for them. Overcome obstacles created by your self-limiting beliefs. Obstacles don't have to stop you. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. Michael Jordan. Life is definitely difficult that it seems to be. We tend to face problems and hurdles at every phase of our life. Yet, we know that we have to look ahead and pace up. The hurdles can be in the form of family conflicts, financial problems, health-related issues or problems related to adjustment in social life. All of these are actually related to the self-limiting beliefs that stop us from moving ahead. The basis of this issue is that the smallest perception can create a belief which gradually grows larger. A lot of times, we tend to become unconscious and tend to direct all the actions in accordance with these self-formed beliefs. These subconscious acts tend to slowly become a part of our character and result in a huge impact on our personality. When we talk about such beliefs, these can be of various types. There are many beliefs which tend to have a positive impact on our personality and lifestyle. However, in some cases, these beliefs can be negative, which when reinforced on our personality, tend to create a huge impact and makes us weak. When facing such obstacles in life, one has to always deal with perseverance and courage. The stronger we face these obstacles, the lesser they'll become. There are also other ways to deal with these obstacles, such as the following. 1. Positive thinking. This is the first step towards clearing your obstacles. The very thought of quitting a task would never ever let you succeed at all. That is why, a self-improvement and motivation for success. Positive frame of mind is needed at all the times in order to find a solution to the problems and obstacles you face. Positive thinking not only lets you have a clear thinking, but also makes you focus on what you want to achieve. 2. Relax your mind. Tension and stress would never let you succeed in life. Being tension-free would make you focus so that maximum obstacles are eliminated. 3. Perseverance and persistence. The problem would not solve on its own. But you need to wait for the results to surface. This patience and endurance is an experience in itself, which, through the test of time, would make you have a whole new insight about the notion of the problem. 4. Find new opportunities. Dynamism is the key to success. So don't wait for opportunities to show up. Rather, take charge and find new challenges and opportunities in your daily routine work. It would not only make you creative, but would give you lots of determination and strength. 5. Inspiration. The element of inspiration is the wish or dream that makes you work harder and overcome obstacles. Inspiration gives the spark that one needs to propel ahead towards a higher future. Aspects of human behavior to succeed. Motivation is the reason which instills people to embark upon certain behavior that is persuasive in nature. This persuasive nature tends to motivate people towards that particular task, goal or objective. Therefore, motivation is the force that drives an individual and propels them towards their objectives. In order to be motivated, one has to adapt to certain behavioral patterns that actually bring the mind to work dynamically. Therefore, it is a state of mind which is not related to one's personality but is rather adopted by a person who is intrinsically motivated. There are certain aspects of behaviors that tend to propel a person towards being motivated. These are arousal of behavior, direction of behavior and persistence of behavior. 1. Arousal of behavior. This is the triggering factor that brings a change of mind. When a person is motivated, she tends to start thinking about the actions related to what motivated them. These actions arouse one's behavior, in which certain action plans are created in the mind of the person who is motivated. Therefore, arousal is also the activation of behavior. 2. Direction of behavior. Direction of behavior is the alignment of one's thoughts and action plans so that a sense of direction is formed. When a person's behaviors are directed, she tends to maintain their focus towards their target objective. Moreover, direction also maintains one's thoughts towards that particular action plan. Self-improvement and motivation for success. 3. Persistence of behavior. Persistence is an important element in motivation as it ensures continuity and concreteness regarding the action plans. It also maintains one's motivation and also continues the goal achievement of the person. Other than these behavioral aspects, motivation is also catered by some motives that are important. These can be psychological or physiological in nature, which fall under homeostatic motives, such as those important for living, e.g., thirst, hunger, etc., non-homeostatic motives such as shelter-seeking habits, curiosity, etc., and social, learned motives such as approval, appreciation, etc. Homeostatic elements are inborn and need not be nurtured as such. They are present as an inherent part of one's nature. Non-homeostatic elements tend to be affected by the surroundings and can arise due to general observation. However, social or learned motives are different in every individual, as people tend to behave differently, face variety of situations and are shaped continuously by the people and the situation they face. That is why every individual's response to these motives is quite different, depending on their upbringing, experience and learning pattern. Therefore, every individual responds differently when motivated, which is exhibited via the behavioral aspects and the individual motives. The key point to note here is that no matter how you are conditioned, always respond positively so as to maximize your potential and harbor your motivation. Once you learn how to control these behavioral aspects, you can take charge of yourself and change sails according to the direction your life propels you in. This would make you move easily into the realms of success. Why motivation is important for a successful life. Being successful is very important for everybody. It is the intrinsic need of human beings to gain recognition, dignity and success. However, in order to successful, one needs to be highly motivated. This is so because motivation gives one the inertia and the power to propel themselves towards success. However, motivation is important for success due to other reasons as well. Some of these are as follows. 1. Motivation serves as the basic start-up. Have you ever been forced to do some work that you don't like? How have you reacted to that work? Not that positively for sure. Now compare that work to some work that you like to perform. Do you realize the difference in your attitude when you compare both of these tasks? Which one was accomplished quickly with a better work quality? Of course, the task you liked performing was performed way better. This is what motivation is. It serves as a start-up so that you can get ahead with the work. The most difficult aspect of any task is to get it started, and once things get started, there is no looking back. Therefore, motivation is a key factor in making you get started on your way to success. 2. Motivation makes you keep moving. When on the path of success, you are not always rewarded with success. One has to fall down many times before getting up and moving ahead. Obstacles, after all, are an integral part to make you stronger. It makes you worthy of your success. So, you have to be mentally prepared to face the tough work, the challenges and the problems in self-improvement and motivation for success in order to move ahead. So, you need to keep yourself motivated in order to keep pushing and going ahead. 3. Do something extra. What is it that the successful do that we don't? We have always wondered about this and got no answer. It's what they do extra makes them successful. Even if you have started up, moved on and faced challenges, you still need to push it beyond what your normal capacity is. Only then would you yield the fruit of success. Doing the necessary would get the job done anyway, so how about doing that extra bit, so that the task itself would boast about who has done it? Think about it. 4. It's boring without motivation. Why do you take books to read or listen to music when going on a long journey? It is to make you feel fresh throughout the journey. Same is the case with motivation. The road to success is long, boring and tedious, but if you have motivation as your companion, then you need not worry about anything. Difficult times can be conveniently endured by motivation, as being motivated ensures that you not only do it the right way, but also enjoy yourself as you go ahead. So always feel motivated, keep your hopes high and look towards a brighter future. Role of education in successful life. Education is one of the fundamental principles on which one's success depends. To understand the role of education and its impact on success, one has to first understand how they measure a successful life. A successful life can be denominated by a person's wealth, fame, career position, property, assets and most of all, their personality. While many argue that one needs to have luck for success and those who are born with wealth and assets are already successful, we do need to realize that being born with assets would not make us successful until we prove ourselves to be worthy of it. So regardless of the fact whether you are born rich or poor, you need to focus on how you can be successful and how you can maintain this position of yours. Now comes the question, why do people press on being educated in order to be successful? Well, it's quite simple. Education gives you the sense of direction, the knowledge, the skills and the focus which is needed in order to be successful. Of course, good rationale is also important, as many who have succeeded in their career paths have done so because they made good decisions. But our decisions eventually depend on our education and are in some way affected by our level of education and experience. An educated entrepreneur and an uneducated entrepreneur have different approaches, strategies and planning tendencies. Moreover, education makes you stand out amongst the others, gives you dignity and grace. The chances of having better paid jobs and even better careers are all dependent on your level of education. College dropouts such as Bill Gates, Microsoft, Michael Sell, Dell Computers and Steve Jobs of Apple are some of the exceptions who were either so intelligent or hardworking that lack of education didn't stop them to be successful. But following their path is not everybody's rule of game, as we have to face the reality rather than dream about exceptions. Despite not having a self-improvement and motivation for success, college degree, these men were so hardworking and intelligent that they are today's billionaires. However, not everybody can follow the footsteps of these exceptional men, as we don't have the required intelligence or the luck in order to make it as big as them. So, what exactly do we do in order to make it as big? We can't just sit down and start dreaming. The best thing to do in these circumstances is to take charge and get educated. A master's or any professional degree is the key to success, as these degrees would not only land us in better paying jobs, but also make us worthy of it. Our personality and values would be shaped by the education we get, which would help us to deal with the numerous business and corporate situations that otherwise leave us confused. Moreover, our inner self would also be strengthened via education, as the values that our education would give us, would also help us to portray ourselves in a much better way to the society. So always remember, the key to success is good education, as it transforms our knowledge, values and our approach towards the way to success. Social roles for a successful life. Having a great friend circle and socializing with people is a great way to propel your life ahead. It's not always that we come across people whom we get on well with. However, having an active social life is a great way to keep you boosted up. Spending time with people not only makes your moods uplifted, but it also enhances your emotional well-being, personality and manners. The key point to understand here is that one should not only make a lot of friends, but rather, be friends with those people who are open-minded and ambitious. Such positive people tend to have a lot of positive influence in your life. However, while making social connections, it is important that we realize some social habits that would be toxic for our social relations and should be best avoided. In this regard, some of the following tips should be implemented while socializing with open-minded social circle. 1. Talk about motivation and passion of others. A good social asset for all times is to talk about the social assets of others as much as you can. This would make you find out what inspires them and how they tend to be so intrinsically motivated. You can discuss their passions and ask them why they are so attracted towards them. As you get better at this skill, you will realize that at times, you can even discover somebody's hidden potentials that even they are unaware of. 2. Don't whine. Whining is a major push away. It's a highly negative sign, a red alert for those whom you socialize with. Moreover, it makes your social circle dislike you. So get away from this whining habit. Even though you might think that you don't really whine, self-improvement and motivation for success. People around you might be more sensitive about this issue. Just be more self-conscious in order to realize how much people around you suffer from your whining and how often you do it. Do understand that complaint and whining are two different things. You complain when you calmly elaborate about how something is unacceptable and how it should change. However, whining is a totally different scenario. 3. Don't boast. Boasting might gives us great happiness, boost the ego for a bit, but actually tends to be quite detrimental for our social life. However, nobody prefers to be in the company of a boaster, and it often leaves a bad impression on the people you socialize with. Only if you are a comedian and are boasting for fun, then it is surely to be taken in a light-hearted manner. However, you also need to have a distinction between honesty and boasting. If you are honestly telling others about your achievements, then there is no need for you to hide them. Rather, if you actually feel like telling others about something, then that is supposed to be boasting. So evaluate yourself on these parameters and try to judge yourself about where you go wrong while socializing with people. Correct yourself and use these tips so as to properly interact with people and move towards a positive personal change. Maintaining work-life balance. The world is changing so rapidly that every other person now has to work in order to live a better life. In this race, one often tends to mix up their personal and professional life. This results in a jumbled-up life, messed-up priorities, lack of time and overall dissatisfaction. This also gives a feeling to the person that despite all the hard work, one has still something missing in life. This missing element is the mental peace and tranquility that one needs to concentrate in life. It is therefore advisable that one follows certain rules in order to keep their lives simple, and lives a healthier life with a balance between the personal and professional life. Some of these factors are in your control, whereas some may be out of the domains of your control. For convenience, we'll look at some tips which are divided under 3 aspects below. At work, 1. Take small breaks during the day. A 10-minute break can be taken every 2 hours so that your effectiveness and work productivity can enhance. 2. Prioritize your day and divide your time realistically. 3. Limit all the email correspondence to office only. Don't take your pending work home. 4. Distinction between the work and personal life should be kept separate. Don't work or think about work 24/7. 5. Deal with unrealistic deadlines before it is too late. Communicate the problems to your boss so as to avoid issues at last moment. 6. Consume your earned leaves, vacations so that you can return fresh at work again. At home, 1. Relax and spend time with family after returning from work. 2. Divide household chores amongst family members so that after all the work is completed, the family can sit together and share some quality time. Self-improvement and motivation for success. 3. Exercise even for at least 10 minutes a day. It would refresh you and you'll feel more energized. 4. Eat healthy food so that you have the energy to spend time with your family and also to work productively. 5. Adopt a hobby that you can pursue with your family or friends. This would keep your mind off work and also make you much more energized. Hobbies are also quite effective to alleviate stress, so you can use a good hobby and make use of it. In community, 1. Spend some quality time in your community. Devote some voluntary time in community work so that you can devote your money, education and time to social work. This would enhance your satisfaction level and also bring you a sense of social responsibility. You can also generate funds, help in arranging corporate social responsibilities and use your maximum capacity to serve for your community. 2. You can also participate in your children's school events and parental societies in order to know what your child is learning at school. Parental groups are also involved at organizing functions and social tasks for the school kids. This would not only help you manage your time, but also inculcate such social and extracurricular habits in your children. What make a person unsuccessful? There have been many articles written on how to be successful, but very few of them cite about the factors that make you unsuccessful. In order to be successful, there are certain factors that you definitely have to avoid so as to ensure success. Some of these elements are false beliefs. Any incorrect idea that you have about something is a false belief. The best element for success is to let go of false beliefs by getting over them and moving ahead. A small false belief such as being unlucky or not able to find a job should not stop you from looking for a job. To get over false beliefs, one has to get out of their comfort zone and accept challenges so that they can overcome their false beliefs and move on towards newer horizons. External control, a particular way of thinking which is strongly associated with being unsuccessful, is blaming everything to external factors. For instance, when one doesn't perform well in an exam, they blame their teacher or the environment around them. Whereas, successful people revert to their internal locus of control where they believe that they are in control of everything. They strengthen themselves internally so that they can face whatever challenges life throws at them. Persistence and perseverance. Successful people tend to be persistent in life. They tend to continue their hard work until they achieve what they want. Losing hope quickly are the signs of the unsuccessful people who don't stand up after they fail. So be strong and persistent if you wish to succeed. Rigidity. Unsuccessful people are quite rigid. They tend to stick to their obsolete ways and do not like adapting to changing situations. In this dynamic world, one's self-improvement and motivation for success needs to be highly flexible in order to be successful. You need to adapt to situations accordingly, take hardships and try different methods if one fails. Improper planning. Being planned for your future would guarantee you success. If you have your own plans, you will maintain your focus and head in the correct dimension. Those who are unsuccessful do not plan, or even if they do, their plans are incomplete. Therefore, you need to be planned, else you'll be swept by those around you. Lack of self-confidence. Ever wondered why the unsuccessful ones are always left behind? It's all because of the fact that they lack the confidence of presenting their ideas in front of the bosses. You should speak up, be creative and give ideas so that the people around you realize that you are confident. Reminiscing about lack of resources. A lot of unsuccessful ones stay behind just because they think that they don't have the money or the resources to do things. Why stay behind? If you are affirmative that you have to be successful, you'll have to do things without resources. Fears. These are not the fears of the dark or the height, but rather these are the fears which hinder your abilities to leap ahead towards success. Although opposite, the fear of success or failure can both hinder your way towards being successful, so overcome your fears and start moving ahead. Dealing with life challenges. It is quite well known to all that everything starts from our mind. The smallest thought is being generated into an idea, which takes the shape of the actions in order to be implemented. This whole process is being functioned within one's mind so that one can plan ahead. That is why positivity is an important thinking approach that all successful people have. We have all been generously granted with positivity inside us, but then again, it's a matter of choice for those who want to use it or not. People who are positive in their approaches seem to attract us more than those who are negative and always blaming things or their environment for the mishaps. Our thought processes are controlled by our mind, which also reflect and are exhibited by our behavior, attitude and perception. It also shows the type of lifestyle we would prefer. Those who are happy tend to have positive thinking which radiates around them. However, those who are gloomy have negative aura that radiates around them. Therefore, it is up to us as to what type of lifestyle we prefer. Happiness and misery, both are an important element of life. No matter how rich one is, one can certainly never avoid the happiness or the misery. These problems which envelop us tend to make us stronger internally as they teach us about life, about values and how to face different challenges that we come across in our daily routine. It is generally seen that those people who face their life challenges positively have positive results, whereas those who face challenges with a negative attitude usually end up with negative result. So what exactly should your approach be while facing life challenges? Below are some tips which will guide you to improve your daily routine and build upon your inner self, self-improvement and motivation for success. When facing negative thoughts, try to change them into positive ones. Always remember that you can control your thoughts shouldn't control the way you live. So instead of complaining and blaming others, evaluate your options. Think of the best possible solution under the given circumstances and act upon them. Don't hang out with negative people. Rather, stay in the company of those who think positively. Talk or get counseling with people who tend to think positively and are a source of inspiration for you. Find happiness in the simple things in life. Remember to look upon the less fortunate and be thankful for what you have. Love yourself instead of blaming. Be kind and respect others. Do small gestures of kindness such as a simple smile and hello to the watchman, helping the elderly, etc. The positive signals you send out are met with positivity in response, which increases your satisfaction level. Help the unfortunate people. Give some voluntary service at an orphan shelter or a nursing home. Spend time with the miserable and radiate your positivity onto them. Always remember, you get what you give. So always send signals of positive and give hope to others. Do remember that when you give others a reason to smile for and hope to cherish, you'll also get that back tenfold. Criteria for idealizing successful people in the world. In this world, we, as individuals, have lots of aspirations and dreams. Throughout the stage of growing up, we tend to idealize key people in our life, who can either be our favorite movie stars, sportsmen, teachers, family members or even politicians. This gradual idealism leaves an impact on us, and at times, our personality reflects certain traits of our ideals which we have absorbed from them in the due course of time. So is there actually certain criterion for idealizing people in our life? Should we randomly idealize just anybody who inspires us? Well, the thing is, that not all individuals are worthy of idealism. It also depends upon how we, as a person, would want to see ourselves. A thief would always idealize his mafia leader, not the local priest. So, if we aspire to be worthy and successful individuals, then we need to idealize people who have the following important traits: positive attitude. A positive attitude not only makes us successful, but it also makes us open to all the opportunities that come our way. Successful people have positivity radiating from them and they never let go of any opportunity. It is these minute opportunities that have made them climb their success ladders. Value time. Successful people also value their time. They are well prioritized and planned for the day. Not only that, but they also value the time of others and fulfill their deadlines accordingly. When going for a meeting, they are always on time and well planned. Accountability. Despite being high-risk takers, successful people tend to be accountable for their actions, successes and failures. They do not blame their environment or the people, just in case any plan fails. Self-improvement and motivation for success. Proactive. Being well planned is the key trait of successful people. They are proactive in their actions and their positive attitude supports their proactive measures. Creativity is the key to success. Creativity lets you see new opportunities and work towards them. All the leaders are supposed to be creative as their creativity makes them implement certain changes that are required for a total turnover of an organization's pace. Well-communicated, good communication skills are an important asset of the successful individuals. Being well-versed not only in the verbal but also the non-verbal communication skills reflects hugely upon the personality of a successful individual. Reaching out to others via communication can attract a lot of people towards you who may also bring newer opportunities. Resilience, being successful is not a piece of cake. It takes a lot of perseverance and resilience as successes do not come without failures. The strength needed to stand up after failing is the actual test that successful people go through. This means that resilience, as a trait, should never be overlooked while selecting successful ideals. A person cannot be successful if they haven't undergone any offsets. Above-mentioned traits are amongst just few traits that successful people have. However, these traits are quite worthy and one can look for these traits while selecting their ideals. Factors behind importance of motivation in successful life. We all know what motivation is and how it affects us. But often, despite all the knowledge and awareness, we still get confused by the concept of motivation. So what is it that causes all the confusion? Why do we fail to totally understand motivation? Well, the basic function of motivation is quite simple. It is to provide us with happiness and to remove pain from our life. This is the basic fundamental on which all the motivational talks, sessions or books are based. What varies is the kind of happiness and pain that it tends to provide. This makes you read books and take sessions in order to realize what techniques you ought to do in order to be motivated. So why exactly is motivation the key factor behind our success? Why not intelligence or hard work, for instance? Surely, motivation must have something that it got this status. The real thing is that whenever we want to perform a task, accomplish a goal or simply do some work, we need certain propelling factor that would make us do that work. This propelling factor is motivation. It is this motivation that tends to make us fulfill the accomplishments and perform some work. Now the question is, how does our mind feel motivated in order to make us perform that task? Basically, there are three important factors through which our mind functions. These are 1. Conceptual, 2. Perceptual, 3. Emotional self-improvement and motivation for success. These three factors, when functioning together, propel us to do the task. The conceptual factor is responsible to form certain beliefs and reasons. All the motivations we feel arise in this region as once we form a belief about accomplishing something, we feel motivated towards that task. The perceptual region is involved with the collection of sensory data. Once motivated, we use this perceptual sense in order to relate to our motivation and further increase it. The emotional region is involved with our emotions, which may be fear, happiness, excitement, apprehension or anything related to the task at hand. Motivation is also felt by the emotional region, which then gives rise to the elements of excitement and happiness, which we feel when we are motivated. This cycle of brain functioning tells us how our beliefs and values control our motivation. Once we have set the right approach and geared up with the right beliefs, we would never go astray from our motivated goal. A general rule regarding formation of beliefs is that one should always look for the positive things and find positive beliefs. Positivity is a great supporter of motivation and happiness, and it multiplies the effect of motivation. Therefore, if our beliefs are backed up by the foundation of positivity, then we would be able to firmly uphold our motivation. To conclude with, motivation is an asset that is conditioned by our brain. It is in our control about how we condition our mind to be motivated. Therefore, have healthy and positive beliefs which can generate and make you feel motivated.